Hello everybody. Today you are going to learn, I think, probably the most important topic in Python, which is how to import libraries and what are functions. So far we have learned that there is something what is called print, and I told you that it is a command. It is a function. So it is something that will execute some instructions that were created by other programmers. So the truth is that when you write print, your computer is looking somewhere for the print name, for the print function, and it will execute the instructions that are responsible for printing the thing that is sent between these brackets to the output. So here, right? That's how it works. And there are many more like that. So in order to create, to use function, you need to write the name of function and then the parentheses. So that brackets here, okay? It's very important. It means that you are invoking the function and you need to send there an argument, something like that. And it can be text, it can be number, it can be variable, it can be many other things that we will talk about in future lectures also. For example, when I do it like that, you will see my name here. When I do it like that, you will see here the form. Okay, so it works fine. But is that all? Is it only one function like that? No. Python is enormous. You will see soon why. When you go to the docs.python.org, you will notice that we have got here something with this Python standard library, which you can use freely. For free, there are like many libraries. Each library that you see here, that MSILIB, GRP, PWD, whatever you see here, has got lots of inside functions, so commands like print, that you can use for free. Let's go to, for example, something like math. You will notice that we can use here, for example, ceil. We can count, for example, the square root of the number that is sent, and so on. There are some complicated trigonometric functions too, whatever. It's already been programmed. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. You can just use the work that was done by somebody else. What is more cool, you in future, when you become programmer, when you learn how to create functions, you can also share functions like that with others. What is cool, when you go here to the Python package index, there is right now above 124,000 of packages available for you for free that were created by community, so by people like you in future. You can just use it. And now you might be like, do I need to learn all these things? I know that you might be like that at start. No, the short answer is no. You do not need to learn all these things. And believe me, I do not know even 90% of them. The truth is that you just need to learn how to look as a programmer for the information. Okay? So when you are in need for something, you need to know how to look through these things, and you need to know how to read descriptions of functions. So when you read description like that, you can instantly see that that function will return the square root of x. Also, I just need to write something like that and I will get the square root of x. That's all. That's how you learn functions. And the truth is that you do not need to remember all of them. You just need to remember that they exist. That's a good idea to remember that they exist. And when you need something like that, you will know where to look. Because it's not possible to remember every possible function. There is thousands of them and people create each day new one, right? So it would be just impossible to remember all of these. Okay, we are calm now, so let's use some other functions. There are some built-in functions, so functions that you do not need to import. For example, this a, b, s. It will return the absolute value of a number, which means that if you give it, for example, 4, it will return 4. If you give it -2, it will return you 2. So it will always return the positive number. It will just change the negative numbers into positive numbers. That's all. That's how it works. And it's often used, really, believe me. And this is one of the built-in functions, right? We can also use something what is called help. You can send to help, for example, ABS, and you will instantly see how this function works. So you do not need to remember, as I have said, how it works. You can just send to help the name of function and you will get the information how it works. Great, isn't it? And well, there are some that you need to import, like for example, the math. You cannot do something like that now. Math square root of, for example, 4. As you can see, math is not defined. You need to import it. In order to import it, you need to write import and then name of the library you want to import. And now, since the shell is working, right, below this command, you can use the math library. You can now write math dot, and as you can see, we have got now 2. You need to remember that you must write math before it. We need to also access that method using the dot here, okay? You cannot write something like that because this method is not defined. It's really important that even if you have imported the math library, you still need to use the dot here. If you don't want to use the dot operator, you need to import it other way. You need to type something like that. From math import and then the name of function you want to import. Bam. And now when we type it like that, it will work. But what is fun, it will not work when we do something like that. Oh, it's working because we have imported it here. Okay, let's restart the shell. So I will do something like that, restart the shell. And again, when I do it like that, as you can see, I have got 4, but now when I do something like that, it will not work. So this thing worked because I used the import math here. You need to remember that there is a shell state, right? And everything from that place is gonna be remembered. So I have forgotten about that we have imported the math already here. And that's why it still worked here. But here it didn't work, as you have noticed, right? Okay, you can also, what is called, let's restart the shell again, import every possible function like that. From math import, and we need to use the asterisk. Asterisk means that I want to import every function. And now I can use, for example, the ceiling function. Ceil is up top. When you look up top in your room, you will see the ceil, right? So it will always move the number up. As you can see from 4, it moved it up. So it is rounding always up. It doesn't matter what is written here, it will always round it up. As you can see, we have got always as a result 5. And I can use easily now this function also, right? Because we have imported every function from math using this construction. If you had used that construction, you would need to write each time math before the name of function from. So you would have to write math.ceil, math.square root, right? So to sum up, in order to invoke function, you type the name of function and then you send an argument that will be somehow interpreted by the instructions that you do not know how they work, and you do not need to care about it because it was already written by somebody. You can just reuse that code just by typing the name of the function. And that's great because you do not need to reinvent the wheel. You can just use the work of others. And what is cool, in future, when you become programmer, you can also create functions. We'll learn how to create functions in future, and you can help others, right? You can create library, like for example, in the file like that, and somebody else can import it and he can use it. So the module, that file here, is really some kind of library. Right now it's nothing, great, because we just know how to create variables and make some simple math operations on them. But in future, we will know how to create great things. That's all in that lesson. Thank you very much.